can hear me, yes. Wake up. Your time for sleeping is over.
This time around, the way I look at it is, it's been easier in that we don't have to answer a lot of fundamental questions about where you are and what it feels like to be there. So it really frees us to actually ask more important and subtle questions about, what does the world feel like after it aged? Is the city built out of skyscrapers? Is the city does it have tunnels in it? That stuff sort of just had to be very quickly decided on the first game because it took us so long to kind of get things worked out. This time around we can actually make some really educated decisions about some of those details that we glossed over on the first game.
Because you're a big daddy, you get this opportunity to go outside and explore the ocean surrounding Rapture. So that gives you the chance to see how time has changed Rapture, and some of the familiar locations have been reclaimed by the sea, and or will be involved with new game levels in a way that previously structurally, the architect never designed, but now the sea has other ideas.
The most exciting thing about Underwater, is twofold. It's one, just being able to experience that world finally, give people the opportunity to walk outside, and it was something we heard again and again, that people did want to just be able to see Rapture from the outside. And the other thing that it lets us do that we're really excited about is a little bit more downtime for the player and pacing. And at BioShock 1, Rapture was just such a constantly oppressive world, and the splicers were always there and always coming back. There were very few places where you did sort of know that you were safe and have a chance to catch your breath and sort of just explore and see some of the wonder of being in a city at the bottom of the sea. And there's that aspect of it that I think the underwater sections really help bring to BioShock 2.
So in BioShock 1, you followed this thread through several discrete kind of themed locations, but it was just one path intended to get you to Andrew Ryan. In BioShock 2, you're cutting a different swath through entirely new and hidden locations that were not important to that story, but are critical to yours and that basically are where you find out who you are and what was done to you. And then outside of the kind of gameplay, there's the Little Sister related choice. So in Bio 1, you were kind of a stranger that approached the Little Sisters, and they had to decide whether they were going to trust you. And then you made your kind of moral sort of crucible based on how you felt about them. Well, in BioShock 2, as a big daddy with free will, you're family. And betrayal very much comes from a new moral context and from expectation. And so they inherently trust you, and you can adopt them and kind of carry them around and work as a kind of partnership. And if you decide to harvest them after that, then you are betraying the expectations of being a big daddy, what they think a big daddy is. And then finally, you asked about truly new choices. This time around, a lot of people said they wanted time with unspliced characters in BioShock 1. People who were sane and had a face that you could look at without going, ooh. And so this time you actually get to work directly with some of these adult characters and make choices about their fate that affects the overall story. And we never touched on that in BioShock 1. So there's a ton of speculation in Rapture about what happened to Jack and which of the big choices he made, and there's almost a religious debate going on about it. And so without spoiling too much about the characters involved with that, the thing that we're latching on to the most is that some of the Little Sisters made it back to the surface and conducted lives of their own. And one Little Sister was not like the others, and she couldn't leave Rapture behind. And she sort of disappears into the ocean one day, and then the abductions begin of girls aged about the right and shaped about the right size. And she begins to sort of jumpstart the Rapture ecology again by creating these new Little Sisters.
I think a lot of the ideas of the big sister was like, well, what is a good counterpoint to somebody who is heavy and strong and can bash anything down? And a lot of the needs for the big sister came from that.
What's great about the Big Sister is that her creation was from a lot of story perspective, and how she's intimately involved in the mystery of what has happened to Rapture in the years since the events of the first game, and where did she come from, why is she doing what she's doing, and how did she become a Big Sister?
The Big Sister story is a really interesting story. It's not another outsider coming to Rapture and exploring it for the first time. It's not that. It's something much more intimate, something much more of an inner story of Rapture, of people who live there and who know that place in a way that Jack could have never known it.
BioShock 2 is supposed to drop in Q4 '09, and for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360.